Peace. It's Mr. G from the Mr. G's Hard Truth Show. And today I have a special guest. If you don't mind introducing to the fans who you are.
Hello, everybody. My name is Evangelina D Master's in Social Work. I'm coordinator for advocating for families and individuals experiencing domestic violence and human trafficking.
Interesting. And where are you from?
I am from Los Angeles, California. What's up?
All
First,
right. What's up? From New York to Watts. How you feeling? So
oh,
yeah,
good.
that's what's up. So let's talk about the field that you're in and what led you there.
Definitely. I started in like homeless case management first. So
Okay.
I used to be an educator. I stopped educating, stopped teaching. I said I want to start supporting the family holistically, like looking at their barriers of why they can't find housing, right? It's just not housing. Why they can't get employment. What is it about? Before then, we weren't talking about mental health, so I'm not going to bring that up in that aspect, but it was definitely about employment, about health. It was also about housing them. Why aren't we housing our families? So I had to get out of this education and get right into social work to address social injustices that comes across the board when it comes to underserved communities.
Yes. Yes, indeed. And being from Watts, I'm pretty sure that wasn't no walk in the park.
Oh, no, no, no. I'm happy to be on this show to address that just because you're from a hood or because you're from Watts or these underserved communities don't mean that's the outlook. That's what is projected on Evangelina. I was always taught the glitches. We have to start talking about that. These glitches that went off that I don't want to be like that. I didn't want that. And let's pay homage to community leaders that we had, like at the Nickerson Gardens Community Center, where there was a Mr.
Yes.
Anthony, where there was a Mrs. Moore. I'm not going to, like, say that there was some Miss Kathy. There were individuals who said, hey, you guys in this community, you don't have to do this. You don't have to steal. You don't have to lie. You can get an education. Back in that day, we're talking 80s, right? That's when we
Yes.
first learned how to use computers. And we were one time, I give this short story. One time we were learning how to use computers. We were able to color, like put in the colors that you want. And I remember
Hmm.
leaving all my pages white. Like that's the mentality that we had. Like we didn't even address color that way. He and Mr. Anthony said, Evangelina, why are your all your girls are the like rainbow anybody? Why are your color pages? Why are they all white? Add some color. Cause I didn't see color as being like, dang, we the vibrant ones. It was because of
Hmm.
him. I started even at 46. I am. I
Okay.
color and I use color. Brown is it. We are it. Melanated people. I love us. So I thank I thank God first for placing these individuals in my life to teach me to do different. And I am a representation of what they have taught. So I want to give it back.
Awesome. And if I'm not mistaken, you just hit a great milestone in your career, education wise. Do you care to share, yeah, with the panel about that? Because I'm very proud of your accomplishments, but I want you to be the one to share what those accomplishments are.
John, y'all don't even know. John is my brother. I love his life. But yes, the accomplishment is that I graduated with my master's in social work May 16th. It was phenomenal. Oh my goodness. This journey, this 4-year walk has not just been about my education, also the losses that I have endured along this journey. Starting with my aunt, then my mother, my aunt, and then my grandmother, all in 2022. So this is
Yeah.
bigger than just my education piece. I am now accepting that I am the matriarch of my family. So I'm the first generation to hold a master's degree in in my generation
Awesome.
on top of being a matriarch now, because my lineage has already, God has called them home, so it is my responsibility now.
Yes, I would like to say my condolences, but also, congratulations for being the one to hold the torch, because
Yeah.
I know you will get it done. Um, yeah, I do know that. So now that you're in this field and you can make some changes, what are some of the obstacles that you find um, being in this field?
I'm glad you asked that, because a lot of people, we need to know, especially being of color, being African American. Let's talk about education first. The disparities in education. My current experience, completing my internship. That's all I have to do. And I will obtain my degree. Unfortunately, unfortunately, that you're dealing with individuals who are intimidated by you, that don't look like me. Unfortunately, I had to get out of my internship program because of it, because
Mm,
I am vocal on, you're supposed to be teaching me what I addressed, and I'm proud of myself. I will no longer allow somebody to despair my mental health, me being in my empowerment. You will not step on what's right for me. So what started happening is me advocating, like, hey, you haven't taught me this. You want me to see clients, but you don't want to give me the proper tools. So the tools weren't in place for Evangelina. So I was like, wait a minute. If I need these type of tools to help these type of particular clients that look like me. So you make me feel like they don't matter. And I'm the person that's supposed to help our people, or help the people who are in need, right? To address mental health. So I'm dealing with that right now. Comfortably saying that I addressed a site supervisor lying. He did not like that. And it's okay, because we're still dealing with little white lies. And I'm not going to, sugarcoat anything on our hard truth, because I'm not the only one who's experiencing this. But I do want let people know that you're not the only ones. Evangelina is going through it too. And because I stand in my dominance, I stand in my empowerment, I stand in no longer trickling or stepping over somebody else's insecurities. I can't worry about what you're insecure about. I have to keep being Evangelina, because there's a purpose in my life for somebody else.
gotcha. And that's powerful. With that being said, and wanting to be part of what reconstructs and rebuilds your community, right?
Mhm.
Um, do you find that you're getting the proper assistance outside? I know the inner works can be a little how can I say, despairing, right? Because
Yeah.
you don't get the support that you need in house. Do you get it outside, like with community building? Because being from places like LA and certain places in New York, which I'm from the East, right? We have certain people that will stick and stand by their communities and uplift them. Like you shared in the Nickerson Gardens, there were people that encouraged you guys to continue moving forward with your education, and to become something other than what the norm is, right?
Yes.
So what I'm saying is, as an adult now, that you found a career for yourself and you're doing the work of community building, do you find yourself getting assistance from the community to keep this momentum going, or does it kind of lack?
Um, it's both. I want to give you your flowers. First of all, Trop Bills, it's a movement. It ain't just one person. It ain't just us. So
Yeah.
Trop Bills is one of them. But like you said, in the community, we have to talk about individuals who are psychologists, right? Who hold masters, like myself, are clinical licensed social workers, which I will be in a few minutes after
Hmm.
finish my internship. It takes individuals like us to get together. I will pub Black Girl Social Work. that is a network that is across the world that I'm a part of. I'm definitely always asking questions. I'm always asking about those community plugins, the networking that needs to be done in our community. And then another thing, I don't want to put it on somebody else. It's my responsibility too. I'm only on, I'm charging myself. Once Evangelina have that master's degree in her hand, I can create the platforms that we have the information, right? We have the resources. I am knowledgeable. I do have the 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 tools I need to provide now. And that's what we're lacking. We're not providing the tools for the next generation. And I see that as always a problem. It is a barrier, and it is in the disparity. And that doesn't mean doesn't matter what color you are. It's on the are you responsible? Do you want to do this work? Is something that I'm charging myself. So I'm not worried about anybody else giving, because Evangelina do have it. So now, once I have that degree in hand, I can create platforms like New Eden Community Resource Center that provides resources for individuals trying to get into employment, education. What are the? I don't want to just tell them what are the steps they need. What do they need to have? You know, of course you need your high school diploma. Okay, so where do you need to go because you don't have that? I want to make sure that you guys know to go to Maxine Waters, right? Or adult schools, and when are they open? When can you enroll? And then the next step is community college, right? I'm an advocate telling people, if you're not used to getting in education, you're not used to studying, you're not used to going back to school, and it's a scary situation for you, please utilize these community colleges, because that is the stepping stone for you to get into these grad schools.
That's right. And it seems like you're very resourceful. And like you said, with the information, it's not just something you do when you punch in the clock. It's also something you do when you wake up and breathe. You know what I'm saying? So you breathe, you speak, you talk, and you walk, the way you live.
Mhm,
And that's what a lot of people lack, that, accountability for self, being the change that you want to see. That's why I have it up on my thing, being the change you want to see. It
mhm,
starts with us and it's going to end with us, right?
mhm,
Um, I'm very glad that you stepped on this platform and shared what your lifestyle is about, because
mhm,
maybe it'll be the spark that opens somebody else up to be like, hey, I need to step out and put some of this work in so we
mhm,
could carry the momentum and help others that are in need. The rebuilding of people, trop, that's a force to be reckoned with. And the reason why I share that or say that is that individually, we go out and we're looking to make a change. It's nothing that somebody has to sit here and coerce us to do. It's something that we feel is right and that we want to be able to implement in the generations to come, right? Do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. Integrity. I like your integrity.
mhm.
So,
It I don't want people to think we're saying, oh, don't be who you are. Please, first and foremost, everything we're talking about is has to do with upbringing too,
mhm.
culturally, mentally. We are still dealing with childhood traumas. We have to start addressing mental health. We have to start addressing and having these conversations that education is going to be key. You guys don't understand that still. You guys are fighting just without having the words, without having the verbiage, without the tools. And we need to get out of that, because we're fighting people who say a quote I just said can lie on us easily, can get us out of our own livelihoods. Let's be all clear about what we're talking about. The importance of being knowledgeable, reading your employee rights. I'm not making this up. Reading what we have in society. What is my right now, regardless if I'm in this field or not. Just being a human being. What is Evangelina's right? What is Ja's right? So we gotta start creating these platforms that we have this conversation that we matter. And it's just that we don't matter, that it's important for us to have an education. It is important for us to read, write, understand arithmetic, the basics. We're getting out of that, and that's where we got to start back. I'm proud to see in my community that we're starting back to the basics, where a doula is starting to become a thing now, right? I want to acknowledge what I'm saying, because here we are creating platforms that African Americans can have a doulas, and you guys don't have to go to hospitals where they don't care about you. We still having disparities in what? In health. We're easy dying on the table than becoming. I also want to address, stop telling your children that they can't be something. Stop telling them they can't be police officers. Please stop telling them they can't be judges. Please stop telling them they can't be sheriffs, firefighters. Stop doing that, because we are depleting in these areas when it comes to education, when it comes to knowledge, when it comes to community building. You can't build a community that you don't understand.
That's correct. And on that note, we're going to end the first segment. We're going to jump into part two. And for part two, I want us to start discussing how we can build a platform for mental health and substance abuse, something that we can at least tune into weekly. Let it be our platform from the east to the west, something of T.R.O.P,
Love that.
all right. And on that, be kind, travel in harmony. Peace, Evangelist. This is an Infinite Energy production. Yo, what's up, Laz?
What up, son?
Yo, man, this shit done switched up, man.
What changed, bro?
They let a lot of frauds and lames up in here, man. Time to bring this back. I see the envy up in their eyes. Characters talking them lies. Mannequins flossing that drip. Even kids talking they shit. Got gangsters snitching on tracks. In my book, they still call rats. You say the block you deal and the plug you deal with, shootouts up in that trap. It's a fact caught in a trap. I'm a warrior built to adapt. I had jewels way before rap. I had crews way before the 5 or 6. Use 9 for mine, so don't get out of line. Get put in lines, I call that at a time. I'm about mine, came to handle biz. Ain't no stopping that, I came to school, these lames is a crucial game. So I'm bringing pain, setting trends with some veterans. I'm a B-boy who respect the art. This is hip-hop, no gimmicks here. Even in careers if I have to. I'm an MC, this is natural. Don't make me body snatching, shorty grab. Put you on the plate for that actual.
Sharp.